Yes, there we go. We're ready. Hello, Graham. How are you? Let's go. Let's do this.
Live. It's live.
We are live. We are live. Ready to do some guest.game. I was very good. I didn't do it today, just for you.
I was very good. I haven't done it for the last 2 days. I was so prepared. I haven't done it the last 2 days.
I think I've done the last couple of days, but yeah, let's see about today's one, shall we? So, I've got no idea. That's a pretty. I'll zoom in a bit just to make that one.
It looks like the same sort of graphics as like Flashback. That kind of.
It could be some sort of Flashback, yeah.
I don't think it is Flashback, but it looks like that kind of style.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no better option, so I'm just going to go for it. Unless you've got any better suggestions.
Yeah, that's it. Quest for Identity is the top one.
9. Okay.
Well, that looks less Flashback.
That's definitely a lot less Flashback.
78%.
It'd be something.
Looks Nintendo-ish.
Yeah, I was thinking Nintendo, but then I was thinking like a strategy type thing, not necessarily Age of Empires, but something like that. But I wouldn't even know.
Civilization or something.
Yeah.
Or Sid Meier's.
I'd be surprised if that got a 78%. Anyway, there was quite high.
Better than that usually, aren't they? Yeah. 78. So something somewhat mediocre, but that picture.
I mean, we can try it just for this. I mean, it could be that one. I suppose.
They might have one clogger in the midst.
Yeah. No.
Oh, well, right. Well, that looks massively different.
PS4, Xbox One.
Xbox One, so it's quite old. I don't know if that's like side-scrolling or not.
Yeah, I can't really tell what. I thought there might have been the character. Is that? No. That was a worm for a minute. Is it? No.
It doesn't. Well, can't be Earthworm Jim. Did they? They didn't remake another one, did they?
No, not on not on those platforms. I haven't got a suggestion. I can't.
Go on and do a skip then, because this isn't helping me.
Okay.
Dog.
His little happy face.
It's like Castle Crashes or something, but then that's not PC then.
No.
RPG. I mean that fits, but
no. I feel like we're going to kick ourselves when we get to the, a further picture, because that art style looks like it should be fairly recognisable, but I've got no chance. I've got nothing on.
No, me neither.
All right, let's skip on to the next one.
2019.
I mean that's 5 years ago.
AA. Go with a chainsaw. What is this? This has got like Japanese style written all over it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start guessing it. I mean, that's very different to that and that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, this has got bizarre Japanese written all over it. God, I'm not getting anywhere. Let's go one more.
Yeah, right.
See if you can get it from this.
Oh, no. Is it not the game we were talking about last week?
What?
No, it's not Indivisible, is it? No.
No, it's not Indivisible. This is. Oh, no, you say that though.
The girl in the front there looks very familiar.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like that. It's been so long since I played that, since I reviewed it, I barely recognise it.
Should we do it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did it? It's left Game Pass now, so shit out of luck if you want to play that. But
it was good as well. I didn't get to play towards the end of that one, but it's actually good fun. Yeah. But I don't remember any of that bits before. I remember what she looked like, but obviously that'd be a bit of a giveaway for the main characters to be.
Yeah, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have got any of that. I mean, again, that is very different.
I can't remember. It's 2019, yeah. So we reviewed that like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, doesn't time fly?
Yeah.
Doesn't time fly? Well, we did it. We guessed that game. We can put that in the Discord. You can join us on the Discord should you so wish. Over at Discord, I don't know the links down there downstairs. Links downstairs. Go click on it. Join us in the Discord. We've had a few more people joining in lately, adding their scores and successes and failures, which has been nice. So yeah, join in. Graham's got a few days to catch up on, which I'm sure we'll do very soon.
Yep.
Nice. But for now, We've got probably a very brief podcast coming up because, well, you'll find out on the other side of the intro. So, Graham, I'll see you just there. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Hello, good evening, and good welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 177th. I am Jamie, and I am joined by the one and only MPV Graham. Hello, MPV Graham. How are you?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been in from the start. Usually you add me in, but considering it's just us two, I thought I'm in from the start.
We'll just leave you in because, as he said, it's just the two of us this week. Ian's off swanning about in the Caribbean somewhere, and Ross is swanning about in his bed because he's very poorly. Got the dreaded man flu. So get well, Ross, and fuck you, Ian. Basically, swanning off.
Putting it nicely.
I love you really, but yeah, I don't know. He comes and goes all over the place these days. Outrageous. Yes, Graham, welcome. We're going to talk a very small amount of video games that we've been playing for reasons otherwise untold, and then we'll do a little bit of news. And then we'll have a bit of fun, and then we'll go to bed because I'm very tired today. We stayed up way too late for my life game playing Monster. No, I did. It was great fun. I enjoyed things, but yeah, let's talk about the game you've been playing, Graham.
Yes. So,
which was?
Kingdom Come Deliverance II. Struggled to sort of get back into the rhythm of this game. It's really like walking a balancing beam, but with interesting elements to it. So as long as you stay on the balancing beam, it's good fun. It's interesting. Lots of dialogue and everything in it is just stunning. It's just so much of it. And I've been seeing clips of the main guy that does the voice of Henry saying how he's been like recording like 2 million of so different phrases and everything for all the different outcomes and events. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. And just looking up kind of different ways of sort of getting started and different sort of missions to sort of really sort of build you into it to sort of find your feet, because it's very easy to get lost, very easy to die, and very easily you can fall into a crime trap cycle where the more you try and get out of it, the more you get stuck in it. And it just becomes, what am I doing here? And they've done the annoying routine of not being able to save the game where you want, like other sort of RPGs. So you've got the the finger on the page of the old RPG book saying, I could do this, but I'll save it beforehand just in case this goes tits up. So I think
the kids call it save scumming these days.
Save scumming. So yeah. So save scumming, although they kind of semi got rid of it, because there is a way to sort of save scum you through. If you save and quit the game, that's essentially a save scum way out of it. But to save the game in the game, sort of as a quick save as such, you need to brew a specific save-ish snatch potion to be able to save the game, sort of ad hoc as you will, rather than normal RPGs where you could have easily over 100 saves in like the first hour of the game. So it's to try and prevent that kind of nonsense. But if there ever was a game that needed it, it was this one, because you can get derailed very, very quickly in all different kind of angles. Yeah. But it's also a game that's probably not wise to play in front of children, because there is, in certain areas of the game, a lot of swearing.
A lot of swearing and a lot of people being done through with massive swords as well.
But the swearing was the one that really got me into trouble. I don't know if you've got to one of the earlier quests where you'll have to do fist fighting to sort of, you can bet people for money to do fist fighting. And I think the third guy you fight in that kind of bit by the miller, I think it is, every 2 seconds he calls you a C next Tuesday.
Yeah, there's a lot of I didn't expect that sort of language in this, and the first time he said it, I was like, did I hear him right? And then every other cunt said it as well. I was like, all right. There we go.
But this guy took the biscuit. He just kept saying it over and over again. I had to tell my daughter, don't listen to this bit. I was nowhere near a control. I was mid-fight, so I couldn't really stop it. But my God, did he just keep saying it? And he even addressed it at the end. You really let the language go when you're in fight. Because, something just switches. I don't even swear that often. During that fight, he did. This is where people get turned off by the game, is the combat. Because it's very particular, quite very, very tactical. And I suppose this is what easily sets it apart from other kind of RPGs of this kind of genre. You can't just hack and slash your way through and be overpowered and charge your way through, because you lose your stamina pretty quickly. They'll sort of deflect you and you could easily get undone. And you can only be afford to get undone like twice. If you get hit twice, then it's usually you're in trouble. You're either bleeding out or you're injured and your stamina doesn't go up any far, and it becomes a problem. And if you pick on the wrong fight, you get more than one person, and then you're in bigger trouble. They break your armor.
They flank you. You can't defend fucking front and back, and you can't easily switch between who you're defending against. So you'd smack like that, and another guy comes from that way with a sword. Leave me alone.
What do you think? If only I quick saved, I'd say, maybe I won't start this fight.
Yes, but as you mentioned, it's much harder to fuck around with the saving in this, because you're relying a lot on auto saves, and obviously, like you said, save your snaps, which is a limited item which you can craft, but it's hard enough to go back and craft it to start with.
But it's not that difficult. So that's the thing the game tries to steer you towards. So it really emphasizes on the fact it's a role-playing game. You are playing the role of the person. You're not just, as your usual RPG, just I level up, I get stronger, I start dominating, I become the main man. Yeah. In this one, you're rarely the main man. You're the focal point, but you're playing a role. And you have to learn all different things. You have to learn how to tailor or blacksmith. You have to do everything literally blacksmith. Not I click a button, I make a sword. Oh no, you really have to make the sword and go through all the different parts of it to make the best sword. You can't half-arse it, because then it comes out in poor quality. Same with potions. And once you get the hang of it, I'm now brewing super strong potions, and you get multiple versions of it rather than just brewing one potion. You get like 4 super strong ones for the price of one if you do it well, and you get perks that make it easier to do it, quicker to do it, and you get more for your herbs and everything else.
I think the thing I struggled with trying to make the savior snaps at the start was I couldn't find ingredients. I had loads of nettle. Nettle? I couldn't find whatever the other one is in ages. I ended up buying some from the shop.
Yeah, they said you can buy some from the alchemy bit to get the, and that's quite easy to get from. But you can only find belladonna in clearings. It tells you like the herb book. So you really have to go into like an open field area, and you can kind of see it grows in a big old bunch around an area. Yeah. But you can only brew super strong bit as long as it maintains its freshness. As soon as its freshness is up, you can't ever brew a super strong potion of it. But as long as one of the herbs is fresh, it doesn't matter. You can dry all the belladonna. As long as you've got a fresh nettle, you can make a strong potion that way. So I learned that.
Nice. But I did make a few stronger ones, but like I said, I didn't fuck around too much with the crafting, unless I needed some savior snaps. And what was the other one you said earlier on? The Maradona one. Not Maradona.
Marigold.
There you go, Maradona. We like a good bit of Maradona potion.
The Maradona potion. Yeah. Marigold decoction. Yeah, so that's the super health potion. But even that, it sort of doesn't heal you like a normal health potion. It doesn't just go wink straight up. It's over time. It sort of slowly trickles your health back up. But it definitely comes in handy. And there's obviously different potions to make your archery better, make your charisma better. And it's a good thing to master if you know how to do so. And even sort of they put the thievery mini games in there, which I quite like how they've done the robbery bit where you pickpocket them. That's quite clever, where you literally have to aim for their bag, get out of sight, and then you've got a timer based. So that's not just get behind them, pickpocket, and it's done. This one, there's a whole trick to it. You've got to be quick and nimble to be able to do it. And I like the way they've kind of done it. It's complex at first, but once you see why they're kind of doing it, you think, yeah, it shouldn't just be a piss easy thing to go behind someone and just rob them. You have to earn your thievery. It's just, the lock picking one is a bit of a faff to balance it in the right place.
The lock picking game is fucking. I tried
hard.
so hard, and I had like the easy ones or the very easy ones are obviously fairly straightforward. They're fairly forgiving, but I tried. I think it was one medium one.
Yeah.
And I broke all my lock bits on it. And they wouldn't even let me try the hard or the very hard ones because it's like
it says you're too low a level. Yeah.
The lock picking game you get in the bin. But yeah, the pickpocket one is quite clever, like you said, and it's full of clever ideas. I think, like you were saying, like you are playing a role. You're not just playing a game, and you are the main character. You are Henry of Skellets or whatever it is, and you have to abide by sort of the rules of the world. Like you got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to be clean, you got to dress right, you got to say the right thing, and it's really well put together in that respect. But for me, I just found it too much, as it were.
Yeah, it can get too fussy. That's why you have to sort of take yourself out, and the game is supposed to be played at like a relaxing pace. You're not supposed to sort of blast your way through the kind of quests because one, you'll find it too hard, and two, you will struggle because you need to maintain everything. But yeah, as long as you know all the kind of tricks of, if I know where to kind of sleep, if I drink this potion before I sleep, I can get fully healed and everything, and use the saber snaps at the right time, and then go in and try to do this bit. And if not, I can reload it at that point. Yeah. So you can play it a bit more tactfully, and rather than just going, cook this up, I've had enough of this. And I didn't save it before and I have to go all the way back there. Because I almost had that sort of time-breaking moment where I'm like, stuff this, I'm moving on. So as you said, I found Belladonna finally, and then I got my horse. I was just about to go back to the Troskits or whatever their place is called.
Yeah.
And I did this. There was like a little ledge over a stream, and it was literally must have been about 3 foot. He jumped off over the ledge, and then the screen just went black and went, "You died." I was like, "Wow, what? How did that giant kill him?" It wasn't like a giant cliff skidding down Skyrim kind of cliff. It was a 3-foot jump.
Yeah, I think Henry's got some fucking weak ankles because I died a few times jumping off of what looked like very low heights.
That was it, and I was like, I didn't start, and I have to reload all the way back to where I was talked to the pig farm, wherever it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just spent so long collecting herbs. It's like 50 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. Now picking herbs, watching the cutscene of picking herbs. I could have done without that.
I think the picking the herbs wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have to watch him crouch down and pick it and then stand back up every fucking time, which is all right, 1 or 2. But if you're picking up, like you said, a load of stuff in a row, that's a long time to watch him.
Just pick it up in the area. You pick up all herbs in the area. Yeah, do that. Do one cutscene and pick all the fucking herbs up in the area. Not
just have it like Skyrim, where you press A and you picked it up. You don't see any animation. I don't want to fucking watch you crouch down and pick it up. I can live without that particular small little detail. But yeah, that was then the game's full of little bits like that, like you said, like the crafting of the weapons and stuff for the blacksmith.
Yeah,
it's good that it's it's trying to be a bit more in depth. But if I have to fucking hear the dunk, dunk,
oh yeah,
not as I shut up one more time, I'm just gonna throw. No, I'm not doing it. Just let me craft a fucking sword. But I'm not interested. I just want to craft a sword and move on with my life and get fucking back to doing some of the quests. I don't want to spend half an hour crafting a crappy little sword. If I'm going to craft one, I want it to be like the fucking dog's bollocks made of diamond. They're going to cut fucking the planet in half when I swing it. No, none of this fucking. You've made a hunting sword. No, I haven't. I made a piece of shit. Leave me alone. Yeah, like I said, it is a very good game. I can see why people loved it as much as they did, but. It was just too laborious at points for me. Have you got to, without too many spoilers, have you got to the wedding yet?
No.
Okay. All right. So the first point where I very nearly gave up with the game was after the wedding. So I'll await your opinion there and see if you have the same foibles as me, because fuck me, that was a lot of losing hours, like losing because you couldn't save it properly. We got past it eventually. We got past it eventually. But yeah, I'll let you get there, and then we can discuss that another time. But as for the story and stuff, it's quite a good, well written story, and quite well performed, like you said, by the sort of the lead actors and that.
Yeah.
And that was what drove, as I said in my review, that's what sort of kept me going. Every time I got to a point where I was like, fuck this game, I don't know. So, well, I kind of want to see what happens next. And yeah, it's very interesting, very well done. And lots of twists and turns. A bit more in depth than some guy in a farmer shop in Skyrim going, oh, my goats have gone missing. Can you go find them? I can. But what has that got to do with a massive dragon flying around trying to kill everyone? Yeah, everything's sort of interwoven quite well. And as you said, they record so many different lines. So if you've already skipped a step in the quest, or if you've done something else somewhere else, they tend to reference it quite well. It's not often they'll go, can you find my sword? I've already found it half hour ago. Thank you very much. Rather than having to come out and then go back in. Here's your sword. I found it for you. So it's a well-made game, but it's going to be one that I think if I was to finish it properly, I'd probably still be playing it to the end of the year at this rate, because it is just slow and slow and slow.
It is very
There's
slow.
so much to do and see, and like you said, you can't really skip through the main quest because you don't really get enough sort of decent weapons and armor and stuff just through the side quests are almost essential, I think, at some points. So you keep cracking on with it, see how you get on, and see whether, like I said a bit after the wedding, whether you feel my pain or not, because that fucking bit. Anyway, so like I said, we can't really talk about many other games we've been playing. You've been playing a little bit more EAFC, I understand. That's all.
Yes.
So before you get into that one, tell me, what's your best ball?
I suppose since we last did, the only kind of pull, not it would make sense to you anyway, it was the Future Stars Kirkes, who was the left back for Bournemouth. So he took a spot in the team and he's made it in. But the other one that I've got that's entered my team wasn't a pull, because those that have played the game for a while, everyone managed to get one, and that was a Diego Maradona. He's back.
That's why Maradona was in my brain. You see, I knew that. I was foreshadowing.
So yeah, if you hit a certain criteria, which is like playing the game before a certain time period and playing the game last year or something, you got a sort of a base Diego Maradona card, who's like low level to start off with, and then you have to play so many games in the evolutions to sort of max him out, and then they put a very expensive evolution in there, 500,000 coins, which is quite hefty if you don't play the game a lot, just to get him up to even higher stats to maybe fit him in some of people's super juice teams that they've got nowadays. But he's not just a name, some of his skills and play styles make him a really good card to use. Just unfortunate the position he plays is where I've got good cards anyway, so someone's gonna have to miss out. But yes, I got myself a Diego Maradona as well.
No Thunderstruck with Diego Maradona.
No, I literally tried to get one just for you earlier. There was a chance that you can get different icon ones. It was a base icon, a Winter Wildcard icon, or a Thunderstruck icon. There's a 1 in 4 chance I might be able to get a Thunderstruck one for you. Didn't happen. Ended up getting 4 bases, which is rubbish, and I took a Steven Gerrard. He's not going to make anywhere near the team, but it was better out the 4. It was, I can't even remember, it was so bad. It was like a Makalele was the only kind of half decent one, and 2 other whiffers.
Fair enough.
But I did try.
Thank you for trying anyway. I appreciate it. One day I'm going to ask you that question, and you're the first word out.
I won't be able to get a Thunderstruck Kaka, but I can get someone Thunderstruck.
Well, hopefully they'll be up to the legend of the Thunderstruck Kaka.
And someone else that's finally got the bug as well. Pete was showing me his team earlier that he had the Diego Maradona because he's playing on behalf of his kid's account.
Very nice.
He's also got Maradona in his team.
Your little session with him at the Royal Rumbles clearly sparked the EAFC love again for me.
Well, we did have 2 kind of epic games. So one we came from like 3-1 down to win like 4-3. It was one of those epic comebacks. So
that's what you want on
that kind of inspiration can help.
Good. Well, maybe we'll we'll get the old tournament going again at some point soon, and we can actually finish this one rather than even undecided.
Even
I'm
half
sure I won
finished.
that. Yeah, pretty sure I won overall, but I've done that. I'm trying to think if I've played anything. I did play a little game. I don't know if you've played on a little puzzle game called Kiwi. Have you ever played this one?
I've heard that one, but I've not properly played it. I think I may have dabbled with it. I have heard of it.
My youngest wanted to play something with me last night, and she was scrolling through what I had installed. And I mean, I reviewed it ages ago, and she still been installed ever since. So it's basically like a 2-player co-op game. It's sort of in the vein of like Overcooked and stuff, but far more friendly. And you play as 2 little Kiwis, and they work at like the post office basically. And there's 3 different types of games. There's ones where you got to type out a message, as you can see on the screen now, to send. Yeah. There's one where you got to label up parcels to send, and there's another one where you got to deliver post and like letters and boxes and stuff to certain parts on the screen. And you have to do everything in co-op. So this one, again, the one on the screen right now, there's letters all over the play area. And if you try and type out a word on your own, you're going to be there forever. So you have to sort of time it and try and type out the word together. And then the other one with the boxes moving, one of you can only move the crane left and right. One of you can move it up and down. So you have to work together to do that. And you got to use it to spell the letters out, like you're seeing on the screen now if you're watching. And yeah, it's a pretty charming little game. We were playing some of the sort of harder levels because we done a lot of them back when I reviewed it initially. And it took us a little while to get back into it because we were skipping the tutorials like fools. But once we did, we were fucking flying through them. We did one this morning, and there was a level. I forget what level it was, but it was the record time was like 2 minutes 5 seconds to get gold, and we got down to 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and we were inches off of getting the gold medal. But I had to leave and pick up my other kid from her club, so we didn't get to finish that one. But yeah, my youngest, she's not normally in like. She normally would play it and just move on, but she was like, "No, let's do it again. We want to do it again. We're going to get that gold. We were trying so hard, but yeah, we were just not quite get there. But yeah, it's a really nice sort of, not too stressful, but not too easy, like little puzzle game to play together. You have to play in co-op. I don't think you can play it solo, and I don't think you'd want to play it solo because you'd be fucking eyes all over the place trying to watch both Kiwis running around. But yeah, it's easy enough to get into for sort of young kids and people who don't normally play, harder or games in general
as well.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. I reviewed it whenever it was 2-3 years ago, whenever. But yeah, I enjoyed it. She's enjoyed it, and you can dress your Kiwi up in all sorts of different outfits once you've got some tokens. You can make them all fuzzy, all different colours and hats and glasses and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's a fun little game. Yeah.
Well, both of them have a go and watch them tear each other to shreds.
Yeah, it's fun to play. Like an adult and a child. I haven't let them together, my 2 girls together, go for it yet. But I can imagine the carnage that it would ensue. But yeah,
I can't remember what that's called now. So the Strictly's love. So it's great to fun with an adult and a child. It's one of those impromptu clips. No context. That's it.
No context. Yeah, no context. Wait, Dan, something. No. Anyway, right. Let's move on. Right. Yeah. So, have you got any other games you've been playing, Graham, or should we get on with? No,
that's literally it. That's all I have.
Like I said, we've got some other stuff we can tell you about next week. I'm allowed to say that there's a Splitgate 2 open alpha coming in February, at the end of February, and I can say that I have played some of it. That's all I'm allowed to say, though. So we'll move on from there.
You can't even say whether it's good or not.
Not allowed to say anything other than the fact that I have played a little bit of it. And we'll so come back into February and I'll tell you all about it. And hopefully we'll play some more because the open alpha will start. And it's on console as well, which is very exciting. We can play some and you can all show me how bad I am at it. Because I was not very good at the first Splitgate.
Yes, isn't it?
It's an FPS. It's like Halo with Portal. So you're first-person shooter, but you can place portals down in the environment. And I got really into the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. But I was terrible at the first one as well. So hopefully I'll be better at the second one. But we'll have to give it a go. You can see my skills on the 27th of February when the open alpha starts. Yeah. Right.
Fair enough.
Graham.
Yes.
Are you ready for a plug-in?
Go for it.
So I'm going to do my very best Ross impression here. Got to get the clap. Got to get the sit up straight. Right, gentlemen. Let's plug away, shall we? So you can find us.
You're going to attempt his accent then. I thought this is going to be a
hell no. That's just asking with trouble.
You cowards.
You can find us on YouTube, where we are right now, youtube.com/XboxHeavenOfficial, where you can become a member. We're streaming this podcast live about 8 p.m. this Sunday, and indeed every Sunday. And sometimes we do the Project Game Pass stream instead. We also got other various videos going up. I think Pete's Mass Effect trilogy playthrough is still going up every few days or so. So go watch them. They're very entertaining if you haven't played Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3 before. And then we've got other bits and pieces coming up on there as well. I think Ross has been playing the Elden Ring Night Rain beta this weekend, and I think he's got some videos going up for that at some point soon as well. You can find us on podcast services wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. If you want to give us a thumbs up, rating, comments, whatever you like, that'd be tremendous. Thank you very much. You can find all of our written stuff over at xboxtavern.com, which is where you'll find lots of reviews. Which, do you know what? I'm going to read the reviews that have gone up now, because otherwise I forget, like I always do. So we had our Avowed review go up, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a little while. But James gave that a 7.3. Quite a lengthy review. This, you want to go check that out. He puts out his thoughts quite nicely. You got my Kingdom Come Deliverance review, like I said. It's got up on there. Gave it a 7. Sin Duality, Echo of Ada review, and Dynasty Warriors Origins from the one, the only MPV Graham.
Myself, yeah.
And you are so far the most positive person that's on the most recent list here, because everyone else, every other review has not been quite, well, not every other review, most of the other reviews haven't quite been up to snuff, but we have some other good stuff, so go check it out, xboxtavern.com. That'd be tremendous. You can find the socials, which are running along the bottom of the screen when I remember to press the button. There we go. On X, if you so wish to still use that place, Blue Sky, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, I think we're on there as well somewhere. Wherever, all down below, you can find us if you want to follow us. And like I said, Discord, if you want to jump in and play the guest.game with us, that would be tremendous. Obviously, more people playing the game every day. And you can find Insect Coin Clothing, where I've got some t-shirts. I've not going to lift my jumper up. I've got a t-shirt on, but we love Insect Coin Clothing here. I've got a lot of t-shirts, hats, hoodies, trousers, everything, bar the underwear, I think, pretty much, upstairs. And if you want to get your own wonderful Insect Coin Clothing, you can go to insectcoinclothing.com and use the code ICXBT24 for 10% off of orders over £50 for the entirety of 2025. So yeah, go check it out. They've got loads of decent stuff up there, and lots of decent stuff coming as well, I'm sure. They always add in new stuff from there, from new games coming out, as well as lots of old retro games which they like to bring back, including a lot of Shenmue stuff more recently, which is always nice to see. Yeah, Graham, are you sufficiently plugged?
I am well and truly plugged.
Good. That was my aim.
You moistened up your plug.
I know. I need to wet my whistle a little bit. Right, gentlemen, let's get into this. Gentlemen, it's only me and you.
Yes,
right.
Gentleman.
Let's do this. There's very, very little news this week, and very, very, very little of that news is particularly exciting. So I'm just going to rapid fire through some of this. If anything stands out to you, we can talk about it. But yeah, let's go for it. So there was an interview from Phil Spencer over on Xbox Era, I think, come out today. VGC have got a couple of bits that I wanted to highlight that they've pulled out from it. So first one is that he says, I'm not trying to move M all over to Xbox anymore. He explains, Louis Spence explains Xbox's PS5 release strategy. So he says so basically, I'll just read this part. It says, so in an interview with the Xbox Era podcast, Spencer was asked about comments he made during an FCC hearing in 2023, in which he claimed that every time an Xbox-owned studio sold a game on PS5, Sony's 30% was being used to block other games coming to Xbox, like Final Fantasy, for example. But now that they're releasing more games on PS5, he was asked if he's less worried about the 30% and more worried about the 70% that they are getting, which they can then use to turn around and spend it on games. He said he replied that this was the case and that trying to get PS5 owners to move to Xbox instead of just taking the games to PS5 was no longer a viable strategy. It's maybe not what I was going to say on stand at the time, but yes, I would love to make all of the money for all of the games we ship right now. Obviously, you'd like to make all of the money. That's what business people do.
Yeah.
Because obviously we'll make more on our own platform. It's one of the reasons we have that we invest in our own platform. But there are people, whether it's because their libraries are on PlayStation or Nintendo, whether they prefer the controller, whether they just like the games over there. And I don't want to then look at that and say, well, there's no way that we should be able to build a business there and find fans of our franchises there. So I'm not trying to move them over to Xbox. We're invested in where our games are and just allowing people to play. He goes on, I'm not going to carry on from there. So the gist is there that we're going to get more games going to PlayStation and Switch, Switch 2 specifically, and PC and Switch. Steam Deck and everywhere else, basically. We've talked about this a lot over the last few weeks, especially. Do you think this is any real surprise that he's going, we can make
we're
it.
Literally
why don't we carry on
doing it? Yeah, we're like one generation away from not having consoles anymore because everything's so cloud-based that it's almost a waste of time.
Yeah. And I think
the fact they put it on so many different models now, it's directly to TVs, to
TVs,
broadcasting thingies, handhelds,
handheld devices, and even if, for example, there's another story that's sort of in here somewhere. Where is it? Apparently, the next Xbox console has been approved by Microsoft, and they're basically getting cracking with it now. But I can imagine it being something different to what we normally would have, not just a big box that's going to sit under the TV or around your TV and play the big games. It's going to be something perhaps a bit more modular or a bit more smaller, like the Switch, where you can take it on the go with you with a weaker experience or with cloud experience only, and then come back home and play on the TV on a big powerful machine. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to be just a bog standard console where you get it, you plug it in, and it just sits there for 10 years until you get another one. Would you be up for a Switch type device for Xbox where you can play at home and then you can take it with you, be it a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or something brand new?
We're not that far away from it anyway. I mean, they got the app that allows you to do it, so people can do it on their tablets, phones, and even on those, the ROG Ally things and those devices anyway. So why not a dedicated platform just for it? But it doesn't even need to be. So if they can improve the flexibility of sort of cloud gaming, so it's better quality for everyone. And I think their main issue is making sure everyone's kind of broadband's the highest end and that the connection's kind of everywhere for everyone, because this kind of cloud gaming structure would only work if the internet capability is matching.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are going to want to have the console gaming for on my console, I can just play it like this anyway. Yeah. I'm not having to rely on a solid internet connection. But other than that, everything that makes it portable and handheld can be done already. So they're not reinventing the wheel by having a handheld like the Steam Deck or the Switch and things like that. It'll be nice to do it that way, but I'm not sure how else they could do it other than sort of cloud it version of it anyway. Especially you could do, play an actual game the same way you can do on the Switch on that way, to have it localized on a handheld device like that, just so you don't have the risk of the stream cutting out. But yeah, it's that kind of safety net, I suppose. That's what the next step is. Have a safety net version of it rather than just a cloud version.
Yeah. I think, whatever they do will be very interesting to see sort of the reaction, because obviously the Xbox One got its shit on because of the always online and you can't share games, etc. And now we've sort of come full circle where now you have to be always online and you can't share games because they're all in the cloud. You won't necessarily be able to play them sort of locally or download them. You'll just have a subscription to Game Pass or a subscription to whatever the service maybe end up being. It may not even be an Xbox branded console. It might be something like what Valve tried to do with the Steam PCs, they called them, where they had the logo on it, but all these different companies were making them, and they were basically like third like authorized manufacturers, basically. So it wasn't Valve making all these different PCs. It was Asus and HP and stuff, but they had the Steam logo on it to say this is an approved. I mean, it didn't work very well for them at that time, but maybe that's where we're going to now. So it won't be a Microsoft Xbox. It will be a Xbox by whoever.
Yeah.
And they will play the same games. It will just be up to you depending on budget and specifications and what one you buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Pretty much that. So, like I said, I can't imagine us we're being that many far generations away from it being a console-free zone.
Yeah, and as I said a few weeks ago when I played on Amazon Luna over the Christmas break, that was fucking perfect. I wouldn't have even known it was not on a console if you just give me the controller. And if we're already there now, come 5 years time, whatever, the world is our oyster.
Yeah.
The world is our oyster, and the clouds are our oyster as well. And then we can.
But that resilience has to be flawless. The internet speeds have to be just as kind of flawless for that next level to really hit peak. Yeah, because they're still,
and it's got to be able to handle the load as well. Because even my kid was trying to play Descenders on the cloud this morning, and there was like a 10-minute queue to get in, and we can't be having that if that's the only way to play or like the main way to play. You can't be having 10-minute queues to let people in.
No, exactly.
So
they're the hurdles they have to jump through. But I think to hit that next level of kind of gaming, it has to get that to that point. And then, this battling in the past won't really be a thing. They'll just be seen as game producers, but PlayStation, Nintendo, and sort of Microsoft. They'll just be another game producer rather than console manufacturer. And
we might end up with consoles being hardware, I should say, being a niche thing. Like you get like the little handhelds now which can play retro games, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one of these that can play Xbox games. Oh, well, I just play mine on the cloud. So, okay, never mind. Anyway.
Yes.
That was good. Thank you very much. So, so we'll see what happens. I imagine they'll announce it in about 15 years. When we're way older than we are now. And our hands don't work anymore. I want to play the games, but I can't.
There's just too many connotations as well. Because even like with all materials and everything from an ethical point of view, they kept struggling to sort of keep up with manufacturing rate in the current times of things, and there's all sort of horrible manufacturing laws and everything else that go with the materials needed to even build these things. And so if we're looking at a new console having to build more materials and waste everything that we've already created, it's just another minefield, I imagine. It'll be just stop Cobalt or something like that. the new people blocking up the main sort of big companies sitting on their lawns, throwing paint at their houses.
Yeah. I mean, I'm too tired to get into any of that sort of discussion right now. But we'll see.
Louis Spence is going to be in trouble.
Louis Spence is going to be shit. Oh, I mean, he's going to be retired and off on a farm somewhere, and he's not really bothered. But whoever they get to replace him ain't going to be happy. There was one other quick quote from him in that interview as well that VGC had pulled out, but it was basically saying they're not trying to get people to go just to Game Pass. They've still got Game Pass, cloud, and obviously you can just flat out buy your games. I feel like he's going to say that for now until later on, where it comes to the point where, well, Game Pass is the best way to play the games, and if you don't have Game Pass, then you can't play it because it'll be, like you say, just cloud only. But that's down the line. I mean, it's very interesting sort of read on their site, and I'll probably listen to the full interview tomorrow or something when I'm traveling. So basically, Big Phil, Big Louis Spencer's out there giving some more information out should you wish to go and find it.
Go on, Big Lou.
Go on, Big Lou. Big Lou for the win. All right. A couple of other very, very quick sort of headlines. I'll stop me if you want to say anything, Graham. In Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out in August. I think it was revealed at the PlayStation State of Play the other day. In the original game and in this one, they have Ape Escape from PlayStation 1 games. There's like a little mini game in it. The snake hunts him down, tries to capture them. Obviously, PlayStation ain't going to go, Xbox can have Ape Escape. I don't know why they aren't going to, but they're not going to. So on Xbox, and I imagine PC as well. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but they're being replacing Ape Escape monkeys with little Bombermen.
Ooh.
Which is exciting. I mean, as far as I understand, you're still going to play exactly the same game. You're just going to be chasing Bombermen instead of little apes. So,
okay.
Good work. Good work,
everybody. Tease me then if I get to play Bomberman. I was like,
no, I
don't
think...
Metal Gear Solid's actually got a little bit more interesting for me.
Because if anything can get you to play Metal Gear, it would be Bomberman, but I don't think it's actually... you're not playing actual Bomberman itself.
What a fraud that is.
What a fraud. Borderlands 4. I know Ross is very excited about this, coming out in September on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. There, Ray, are you interested in Borderlands 4?
Yeah, yes and no. I never really kind of stayed on the train. The first one I really liked. The second one hit a bit of a meh point for me, and it did the same with the pre-sequel and the third one. I just never saw it through. But then that seems to be my kind of pattern with most of the games. Just never see it through. But, it's nothing against the games because the Borderlands games are pretty awesome, and the graphical style and the fact it had such longevity with it, can only be kind of a great game, and people look forward to them and very popular. It's just hard to keep up with it. That and sort of my love with FPS is a bit love-hate at times anyway.
Yeah,
but sort of looking forward to it.
Well, you never know. We might end up playing it all together at some point, but I've never been I've never been even a mild fan of Borderlands, so not.
You like Tales of the Borderlands?
One for me. I did like Tales of the Borderlands and the sequel. They were very good, but the actual Borderlands games. So I had the first one. I think I played it with you for a few hours, and then I don't think I've ever touched one since.
Yeah, I even dabbled a little bit in that Tiny Tina's TT Twist or whatever it was called. That one, yeah. But I could not see that one through. That was a bit different, but I imagine that this will need Ross's hype to sort of say everything he's looking forward to on this one.
We're definitely missing the Scottish love there for a bit of Borderlands. I'm sure we'll come bringing in energy next week when he's all better. And
that's enough for him to beat his flu. To say actually it's crap. No one's looking forward to it. Get him out of his chair.
Wait, he's just appeared.
Who cares?
So one funny little story come out from Saber Interactive, who make lots of games for everybody, basically. They did the Halo Anniversary remake for free because they offered to do it for free, basically, because they really wanted to do it and add it to their sort of CV, their highlight reel. And they ended up winning the job doing it for free. And then later on down the line, when they come to redoing it for the Master Chief Collection, some loophole in their contract meant that they actually got paid more than they were initially going to be paid for it to do it anyway. So they were going to get something along the lines of $4 million, or Microsoft were looking to pay about $4 million to get them to make the original game. They said they would do it for free, and then they didn't get any royalties or anything like that. And then when it comes to the Master Chief Collection, they reworked their contract to say we'll get some royalties, and they got like $10 million out of it. So good work. Stick it to the man. And it's a very good very good remake as well. Like it's one of those ones where you could flick back and forth between different graphics.
Yeah,
and it had to, it was a good, and it supported 3D as well on the 360. I mean, it ran terribly because the 360 and PS3 were no way ready to be running 3D games like that. But just an interesting little nugget of information.
Cool.
And then the final one, which is in the thumbnail, so we definitely got to talk about it, although there's not too much to say really. A while back, people left Rockstar North, Leslie Benzies being one of them. One of the guys who used to produce and I think created the GTA series. He spinned off with some other guys and created Build a Rocket Boy. And they're making a game called Mindseye, which is, as they describe it here, a story-driven action thriller set in a fictional near-future Americana featuring best-in-class cinematics, high-octane driving, and explosive combat. So basically, to my eyes, it looks like a GTA, but not quite as GTA, if that makes sense. I'm going to bring the trailer up now. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Greg.
Semi-GTA.
Yeah. If anything, and if I'm being perfectly honest, it looks like a sort of a cheap knockoff of GTA. but everybody seems to be very excited about this game. So I'm going to hold my tongue a little bit because they've shown 2 minutes in this trailer here, and a lot of it is sort of cinematically styled shots rather than actual. Like we're not looking at a mission. We're just looking at little highlights of him driving and shooting and everything blowing up. And I mean, fucking everything. Just wait. We've got one explosion. We've got 2 explosions.
Just cars
yeah, just everybody's fucking blowing up. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be terrible by any means, but I'm not quite feeling the excitement just yet. Because it just looks like another open world shooter that's trying to be GTA but not GTA, but it's by the people who made GTA, so maybe it's got a bit more cachet than other ones. It's coming out in summer, but part of the big reason this is sort of interesting is it's coming with a platform called Everywhere, which is everywhere. Yeah, so it's basically like the next metaverse from this company, Build a Rocket Boy. So they're creating effectively something like, say, Unreal Engine, and then people can go into that and create their own games within this, and then there'll be like a hub world, and then you can just go off and explore all these different games eventually, obviously. Anyway, this is going to be the first one for it, and they're releasing part 1 in the summer, part 2 at some point down the line, which will be more of a multiplayer thing supposedly. But this is like the first big release for this new platform, basically. So it's, instead of it, like Fortnite now, where you got Fortnite and you got these created games that people have gone in and made. That's what they're aiming for, but a bit more, sort of unique to each one. So whereas you can really tell when you play a Fortnite game that it's been made in Fortnite engine because it uses the same mechanics. Here it's just like a building block to start off, so you can build anything basically. And it won't necessarily be obvious that it's made, using this set of systems, other than the fact that you have to access it through it. So it sounds very high promise, high reward, high delivery kind of nonsense that you'd normally go for. That's never going to fucking work, but it's got some talented people behind it who've been around for a long time. I don't suppose you watched the trailer the other day at the State of Play.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like I said, like to be a bit of a cheap GTA, but I'm hoping that when we get to actually play it, it's going to prove to be somewhat decent, especially considering the full fat real GTA is coming out at the end of the year, supposedly. It's going to have a bit of extra weight to sort of try and drag itself up above the waves, but like, I'm here as well. Remember me, Game of the Year, I'm here. Excuse me, but I'm saying all this. It might come to the end of the year, but like, do you know what? Fucking Mindseye, 10 times better than GTA 6. Best game I've ever played. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
It's going to build a fan base beforehand if it is any good.
Exactly. It's going to have at least a 4 or 5 month head start. So we'll see how that fares. And that really was it. I mean, like I said, I'll be more interested to see the whole everywhere sort of meta system than necessarily Mindseye specifically. But the fact that it's kicking it off should be an interesting start to the future of gaming and the future of entertainment. And then, for the rest of the year, obviously we've got GTA 6 coming out. Nothing else really matters after that, does it, as far as I'm concerned? I know there's some people that aren't big GTA fans, but that's the one I'm waiting for. And I can't believe we haven't had a second trailer by now. The subreddit is going mad, Gray. I assume you
can imagine its name carries a lot of weight. It's the fact it's still got a massive player base from the last one because of the online play, so people still are loving it anyway. Yeah. So to have the next one there, people are just giddy. They're waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally like going frame by frame through the trailer and picking out little details where they go, could this be a clue as to when the next? Just go find something else to do for a while, and when it appears, it appears. Don't worry, relax, you'll be fine.
Because it attracts the half gamers, the partial gamers, because they just like that name. And
a lot of them are asking the same questions over and over again. It's like just wait. All your questions will be answered when the time comes. Just enjoy yourselves, relax, chill out. Anyway, GTA. Let's do this. So that's about it for the news. Like I said, not a tremendous amount to get into, although it lasted a bit longer than I expected. So thank you very much, Graham.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Excuse me, to round it off the show before I fucking choke to death on fucking Cottonmouth for some reason. Graham, tell me about things in Game Pass coming and going.
Okay, so coming in, we have a few that we forgot, didn't get a chance to mention last week because we were doing our streaming pod. But recently we've had Far Cry New Dawn being added, Another's Crab's Treasure being added, Ayuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes added. Starfield, I think we talked about last time how that's been added to the standard version.
Yeah, to the standard, so you don't need Ultimate anymore to play that.
Yeah. And Madden NFL 25 has been added, and Kingdom 2 Crowns has been added, and that was only a few days ago. And coming very, very soon, it will be Avowed in a couple of days' time, depending on when you're hearing this. It'll be coming on the 18th of February, shall we say.
So that one, obviously, we've been waiting for that quite a while. As I said earlier, James reviewed it for us. He was sort of fair to middling on it. It's got reviews all over the place. Have you read many? Have you?
I've heard a lot of people getting giddy about it. People are quite loving it, I thought. They're saying it scratches that kind of Elder Scrolls itch. Is what the rumours I've heard anyway. So I'm quite surprised he gave it that kind of review. But I suppose each to their own. But
indeed,
yeah. I mean, definitely from the gameplay videos that I saw of it, it does have that kind of Elder Scrolls vibe to it. But yeah, that's where the hype is at the moment. Having to get grips to that.
Are you going to be jumping in day one, or are you going to be trying to finish fucking Henry's quest in?
I'm trying to finish anything. Trying to finish any of the bloody games. I'll definitely be playing it. Whether day one yet to be seen, but yeah, I'll definitely be getting it downloaded and have a go at it. Do like a good Elder Scrolls style kind of game. So yeah, I'll be keen to see what it's like.
Nice. I think like I will give it a go at some point. When? I have no idea. I feel like March is a bit quieter, so hopefully at some point in March I'll find time to play that and Eternal Strands, because they're the two I really want to get to this year. They're already out anyway, or will already be out.
That's something I'm looking forward to that's coming out in February, which I'll be having to get to.
I mean, there is that as well, isn't there? A little game called Like a Dragon, Pirate in Yakuza. What's it called? Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii, or Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii?
Pirate in Hawaii, I think it is, yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward to playing a bit of that one at some point in, was it 24th? I think it's out, isn't it?
I think it was something, yeah, I think so.
Something like that, yes. We've got a little while to get to play that one yet, but that's all in the future. And what else is in the future? Games that are leaving Xbox Game Pass.
Yes. And these are all rumoured to have left on the 15th. And
no, that was from the old one, so I just deleted that. These ones are leaving the end of the month, yeah.
End of the month. So we have Gris, or GRIS, if it's not pronounced Gris. We've got Man-Eater, Paw Patrol World, oh no, Space Engineers, Warhammer 40k, Bolt Gun, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, and Yakuza 3 and 4 Remastered.
You've got a few weeks to go and play in them should you wish to. I would recommend you skip Space Engineers. I did not enjoy that in the slightest. It's a very particular kind of game. I think Joe, one of the old Tavern reviews, really enjoyed it, but oh god, it was fucking tedious. So I could not play it for the love of the money. So yeah, give it a go by all means, but you haven't got long to decide whether you like it or not. I did want to play Warhammer, but as we just said, I got no fucking got no time to play that, as well as everything else that's coming out. So that might have to go on the backlist for a Steam sale or something down the line. But we'll give it a go at some point. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, Graham, that's that. We've made it. Great success. Just under an hour as well. Thank you very much, everybody. If you've been listening / watching so far, apologies for the slight lack of energy, but I'm fucking tired today. And I've got to get up super early. So we're going to round off and go home and go to bed. Graham, you can find him at
Graham Reaper.
In most places. You can find me at Unexan, most places as well. So yeah, come play this Guesser.game in our Discord. Join us on Xbox Live at some point and play some games against us and show me how terrible I am at most of them. And you can find us everywhere else, like I said earlier on. Just search Xbox Tavern. Ask Jeeves, he'll point in the right direction. For now, goodbye. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m.
Single-ish.
Single-ish.